Everybody, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. What you are reading is correct, and let me put you up on a little game. This past weekend, Dominic Toretto, aka Vin Diesel, stated that Brian will be returning to the Fast and the Furious movie franchise.
Reuniting Dom and Brian O'Connor. That is what you're gonna get in the finale.
If you aren't caught up to game with the Fast and Furious movie franchise, Dominic and Brian, best friends like Vegeta and Goku, like Sasuke and Naruto, like any other twin pair. But unfortunately, the actor who played Brian O'Connor, Paul Walker, passed away over a decade ago. And since then, the movie franchise has been a little difficult, a little different, and a little creative, I would say. Now, most people are like, go back to street racing, this, that, and the third. Remember, Universal owns the right to Fast and Furious. Therefore, Fast and Furious is going to be whatever Universal wants it to be. The jokes have been made about them going to space. They went to space. Jokes have been made about misshifting this, that, and the third. And they have made jokes inside the movie canonically for your entertainment. Remember, people, this is not a documentary. This is not a dramatization or a reenactment. This is a movie. Therefore, you must treat it as a movie. Do not take it like, oh, that couldn't happen. Now, there's a little bit of difficulty here because the actor who played Brian O'Connor is no longer here with us in person. To bring him back is a little different, but they had a farewell send-off for him in one of the Fast and Furious movies that I can't tell you the number of because I damn near watched them all. Let's say Fast. I don't know, Fast 7 or 8. I don't even know how many Fast and Furious movies there are anymore. There's too many to count. But I know one thing, them movies are entertaining as well. Now, for them to bring him back, they're going to have to pull a miracle, recast somebody, redo something else. But Universal, I'm here for it. And for everybody who's a naysayer otherwise, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something right now. It don't matter what you want because we going to watch it anyway. They could literally put Optimus Prime in the movie and I'd watch it. They could put Voldemort in the movie and I'd watch it. They could put the Incredible Crash Out, aka the Hulk, in the movie and I'd watch it. And somehow they would make sense. They could put my man, the G.I. Joes, in there and make it all one universe and make it make sense. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it all. If you want a little theory, what I'm thinking, he comes out of nowhere. From the last movie you saw R34 in blue pull up, he's going to be like, hey guys, it's been a minute. He's going to be like, family, secret mission, and then maybe either have him a farewell send-off part 2, or somehow they gonna use the baby. Somehow, not the baby, the rapper.
Release the baby!
Let's go. The baby as in little goddamn Brian. And he didn't say how they gonna bring him back, because if you read between the lines, they could age it up a little significant amount, but that wouldn't make sense as the R34 pulls up. Now, here's my Skyline Theory sub-note for this. If you ever watch Fast and the Furious 1, there is one car that has never raced. The yellow R33 GTR that Leon drove. Never raced in the movie. And here's my theory. You can call me crazy, you can call me stupid, you can call me whatever you want, but this is my theory. You never see him race on screen, but in my head, they race behind screen. You like, what you mean? After Brian and them build the Supra, there's one person he has left to race. And you'd be like, out of all the cars, what would make the most sense to be fast that is out of the tuner cars? Not the S14 that he drove, not Jesse's Jetta, and not Dominic Toretto's RX-7. It would be the R33 GTR, because out of all those cars at the time, that car is technically a supercar, heavy hitter, twin turbo RB26. And if Dominic Toretto has all that money that he's allegedly put into those cars on screen in the movie universe, what makes you think that R33 GTR ain't with the business? All-wheel drive, 5-speed, 2.6 liter. And they probably back then in 2001 upgraded the turbos, fueling, map, chipped, whatever you want to do. And I would say damn near Leon's car would be the fastest out of all of them. And there's a reason why he doesn't race, is because he's the quickest to get away from the cops. Hence why he watches out for the cops, because he can radio, zigzag, get out there when he needs to. Now, here's my theory. Leon races Brian O'Connor in the movie. Brian O'Connor gets so fed up after trying to beat Leon. There's only way to beat Leon is become Leon. Therefore, you see Too Fast, Too Furious. Brian in the movie is on the hunt for another car. And what car does Brian O'Connor get? That's right, Brian O'Connor gets an R34 GTR. What better way to one-up the dude that beat you than to get the car that's newer than the car you have? And now, if we're talking about in the movie universe, you saw him fix up that car. And if you don't know about Skylines, technically the R33 on paper is faster than the R34, but mechanically wise, the R34 is superior to the R33. Here we go. The R34, 6-speed, I believe V160 transmission, all-wheel drive versus the crummy 5-speed transmission that comes in the R33. Now the R34 RB26, a little bit more kind of beefier than its predecessor in the 33. The 33 is the one that had the oil issue semi-fixed. The 34 is probably the finite one, and it has all the technological differences. But the problem is you never see Leon return, because Leon is a one and done guy. I beat you once, I don't need to beat you again. Because what makes you think that Leon couldn't whoop on Brian again? And you're like, where would all this take place? There are deleted scenes in the movie where you watch them put together the car. The car parts are scattered, and they're all talking about this. Now, if you notice, when Paul Walker races that Ferrari in that scene, that's the time it would have had to happen before there, because Paul Walker is not only furious, or Brian O'Connor is not only furious that he has a deadline on when he has to catch Toretto and his gang or whoever's doing it. He also has 2 losses, not only to Toretto, but now to Leon. And you know the smack talk, Leon's subtle with it. He ain't even going to say nothing. He's going to not even say nothing to demean you like Vince. Leon's more like, man, better luck next time. While Vin Diesel will rub it in your face, while Vince will rub it in your face, Letty will rub it in your face, Jesse's kind of like there. But Leon, he's smooth with it. He real smooth. He's a calculated, cerebral assassin. What makes you think he couldn't get in Brian's head? So if you watch that race against the Ferrari, watch how he drives the Supra against the Ferrari as he is a madman, because he already has something to prove to Dominic. And if you watch them at dinner, it would all make sense then. But you're like, Gary, he has to do this with the... Shut up! Just think about it from a man's pride point of view. When Vegeta gets beat, he'll never admit defeat until he sees his opponent that he is once trying to become, and then he will put aside his differences. Hence Paul Walker, hence Vin Diesel, hence Dominic Toretto, hence Brian O'Connor, hence Leon. Leon is that guy, and I want you to really sit here and think about it. Back in 2001, how the hell would he have gotten that car? Back in 2001, how the hell would he have gotten the parts? Technically, the most expensive car to fix out of all of those cars would be his. Technically, the one that would make the most money when he needed to do it so would be his. Dominic Toretto, he got the fastest car, but who is the better driver? I will leave you with this. When this new movie comes out, there's only one person I really want to see come back, and it's Leon. We know Jesse, you could have brought Jesse back, but we don't know why. You brought Vince back. For what reason? Just to bring him back, pat him on the back, and get rid of him. You brought Letty back somehow. You got everybody else, but one person I want to see is Leon. And pay homage to my boy. I know the original Big Bird R33 GTR is no more. It ceased. It doesn't exist anymore. But one thing I do know is I want to see that sucker back. And until then, I will wait. Until then, Universal, keep pumping out these movies. You can make 20 of these movies. I don't care. I will watch all of them. I dang near seen every Marvel movie. I stopped at Thor, Love, and Thunder. I know it's a whole separate goddamn movie franchise, but I did watch that Spooderman one. All the Spooderman movies, sensational. Fuego. And to you and your families who are watching this, have a good movie watching time this summer. Have a good evening, good afternoon, good morning. I will see you soon. Say habla español.